Is this thing on? Welcome to Uncensored Radio Live, the podcast that has more transparency than a Tesla sale on the White House front lawn. We are here. We are ready. We're at it. Feeling loose. Feeling ready to go. There you go. How
I'm
we
never
doing,
that loose.
It's many have written home to say so. Oh, look, just the lonely three sisters again this week, but it's okay.
I know.
We're cute. We're always looking for friends. If anyone wants to join us, like just
Yeah,
please
come
get us,
along.
get us
The
sister up.
water's fine.
We fight a little bit sometimes, but it's entertaining. Right, it's always over by the end of the episode. We get over it. Hey, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
How are you? So we've survived 1,300 episodes. I feel every one of those. It's been a long week this week, man. I feel like last week was
I feel like all the weeks are 100 years long.
You guys, and now you guys are in daylight savings now, right?
Yes.
So I got the time of the show right for normally there's a bit of a kerfuffle. Luckily, I was on top of it because there would be no one here to tell me otherwise. Oh well,
you didn't know.
An hour late. Yeah, I'm all good. I stayed on top of it, luckily. But I think we come out of daylight savings on Monday. So the show changes times yet again here in Australia. It's just we like to jump around and keep things busy. But how's everyone's week been? Christina, how have you been this week, my love?
It's going to be the same dumpster fire for the next couple of weeks, honestly, because when my parents are in here, my life is flipped upside down. I really took that for granted, and I hate that. And again, I'm going to probably repeat this for the next 3 weeks while they're gone. And it's been a whirlwind. There's a lot going on, and every weekend my daughter has like a cookie booth sale. My husband's working overtime. So it's just more time of like back and forth, and it's a lot of time in the car, picking up, dropping off, waiting for buses. It's hard. It's fucking hard being a mom, and like, I don't know how like single moms do it. I don't know how people who don't have extended family around them do it. I don't know how any father, parent, whatever does this because it's so difficult. Like, my God. I love my parents so fucking much. It kills me that they're not here.
It is difficult.
Good news is that like my son is doing amazing. He's starting to like say words.
Oh, wonderful.
He said chew the other day. He said mama. He said dada. He was like, I don't know, like every now and then you get a great word out of him. And I mean, it killed me the other day. Like normally we always have to like call him a couple of times and be like, say bye-bye, say bye. Like, you're repeating yourself like 27 times, right? To get him to do something. The other morning when I was leaving him at school, his aide said, say bye-bye to mama. And he turned around immediately and said, bye-bye. And guys, I was crying the entire way to work. I was this is so amazing. They're potty training him. He has not had any accidents in the past couple of days. So he is just,
there we go.
So other than that, everything else is shit. But he's
Look, there's always some good to be found somewhere.
Yes.
That's the moral of the story, right?
Exactly.
Always something good to look forward to. Yes. All right, my lovely V, how about you? How you doing?
It's amazing how quickly time flies when you don't want it to. My nephew's been home for spring break, and I love that he's working. I love that he goes into the law office every morning to work with his cousin, and I love that he's home. But I've seen him about 2.5 hours. I guess, cherish the times when they're dependent on you, Christina, because it's going to be over really quick.
Bless life just keeps on lifing, doesn't it?
I know. Goes quick.
There's no pause button. It's already mid-March.
I know.
It's already
and
March.
Still, it's only 52 days into the Trump administration.
Some things go quickly, some things go slowly. Look, we can't.
Like, oh my God.
It's been a long 52 days, hasn't it?
Like 52 days feels like a year at least.
I know.
There's been a lot. There's been a lot happening.
Indeed.
It's busy, and look, I think we expected it, but that's okay. It's okay.
I don't know.
Look, we'll just keep plugging with the can-do spirit of podcasting. My brain went on a little pause there. Really,
you had a
really
little Elon moment.
I had a little Elon Sleepy Joe moment. No, bring back Joe when he was just talking to people that weren't there, because at least he made a bit more sense. But that's okay. Do you know who my new favorite player is in this whole thing? And he's been around forever. RFK. How?
He always sounds like he's got mic troubles.
Like, I'm just,
no vaccines.
He's always been like a background character, but just the more I pay attention to him, I'm like, it's insane that you hold any public office of power.
He's like the worst Batman supervillain.
What do they call it? Mr. Brainworm? Like, I'm sorry. If a parasite eats part of your brain, I think that makes you ineligible for public office.
Well, I think that's part of why he can't speak. The little is because the worm was in his brain and made part of his language.
He kind of sounds like the aliens from Mars Attacks.
And
the word.
I would probably not be making fun of somebody's disability if he weren't so despicable.
I mean, but it writes itself. I mean, who drives around with whale carcasses and dead bear? Like, it just writes itself. That's the universe saying, "Come on, make fun of this guy."
And make measles great again.
Yeah, what is up with that?
I don't even know.
Why are we having measles? Are we all going to get like...
It was all but eradicated on this continent, and now it's back with a vengeance.
Here as well? Yeah. Here as well, just because people won't get a vaccine?
Yeah, like it's in my county. Like there was a kid, I think it was a 10-month-old or something like that. I don't know. But like the 10-month-old has a sister who is vaccinated, but obviously you can't be vaccinated for the measles before you're a year old. Okay.
Right.
And so this child obviously wasn't vaccinated yet, but her mother is a vaccinator. You know, she would have gotten her vaccinated, but she doesn't go to school and she wasn't around people when she was like symptomatic or something, but she was at the hospital, I think, a week before they knew that she had measles. So they called contact tracing, all that shit that they used to do with COVID. But I'm like,
it's actually science, Christina.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just shit, it's science.
Women idiots, that's what I'm thinking. It's just all the crap that they have to do. But then I'm freaking out as a mom, and I'm like, wait, is my daughter vaccinated? Is my son vaccinated for MMR? I was like, I said yes to everything. I was like, yes, shoot them up. Like, I didn't care, So I was like, and then I'm talking to my friend at work, and I go, am I vaccinated? I felt so stupid. I'm like, I don't know what. I'm like, I don't know. She's like, yeah, you're vaccinated. I'm like, okay.
Because all that shit used to happen at school.
It did. You used to get your
Yeah.
vaccines at school.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
And then everyone was like, oh,
Oh yeah,
all day.
we all had the DBT or
Oh,
DTP sugar cube. That was my favorite part.
sugar. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was
Oh,
a
really?
sugar cube, and that it was coated in the DTP, and you just swallowed the sugar cube, and that was your
I don't think
DTP
that's an Australian. I
vaccine.
don't think that's an Australian thing. That's jabbed us with needles, and we went
Well,
along our
the
way.
MMR was jabbed. You know,
I
pneumonia
don't.
is
I
jabbed.
don't
There was a
remember
lot
eating.
of jabs,
I don't remember
Yeah.
getting
but
sugar cubes like a
I like
horse.
I got a lot of stuff from my butt and my arm, like the ass cheek,
yeah.
and
Well,
yeah.
it's
A
a
lot of
lot fewer
that.
nerve
We need
endings
that. We
in
need.
that muscle.
Wait. We need to wait. 10 minutes. 10 minutes 40 is Christina's reel for this year. I've had a lot of things in my butt. Luke,
I
put it.
I always, when I'm giving shots at work, I always talk about the fact that your deltoid muscle is like this big, and your gluteus muscle is like that big, and it's got a lot more a lot fewer nerve endings, and a lot more space for that vaccine or that injection. And I always try to talk people into the glute, but I'm
Right.
sure the school didn't want 150 kids bearing their ass at the same moment.
Oh, no, says we got sugar. Maybe I've blocked that out. I don't know.
My mom actually just used to get like the sugar cube. We would beg her to give us one, just to chew on. Like it was just like one of those things. Like, can I have a sugar cube?
I'm a horse.
I don't even know where to buy sugar cubes anymore. Nobody serves cubed sugar like
No,
that,
it's.
like they used to.
I don't know where you would find that, would you? Yeah.
It's a entertaining technique that's gone the way.
I feel
Yeah.
like that would be more easy to find in like Britain or something,
Yeah.
where one does tea regularly.
Right.
Well, they still give people sugar cube tongs at weddings for
Yeah,
wedding
for
gifts.
what?
Get your little packets of Splenda out.
Oh
shake 'em
yeah,
around, shake 'em around.
that's why because we all got our little packets.
Sweet
Tear
love,
down some more
shake it
trees
around, shake
instead
it
of the
around.
silver cube tongs.
Yeah, I just have a spoon and a little bowl. That's it.
Sure.
That's what I have too.
It's not fancy up in here. It's not fancy. It's okay. We keep it real.
From like ShopRite in the cabinet. Like it wasn't even a thing.
Hold up. We buried the lead. We buried the lead of the whole thing. Christina. Wegmans.
Oh yeah, you got a Wegmans now, girl.
Oh my god, I am in love. I'm overwhelmed. So it is. I have to say, it is a lot bigger than the one upstate by you guys.
We're a C store. We're one of the smaller ones.
I mean, it is beautiful, but it is fucking big. Like, and I went in there twice, and you walk in, and it's obviously, they have like an entrance line with like all the pre-made shit, like all of your like to go, like quick to grab to go dinners,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's all produce. And then the flowers are behind the produce, and then over to your side you have all the specialty shit, like your sushi and your bakery and your deli, and I mean and your bread counter, and then the cheeses, and then the frozen sections over there, and then
I loved
there's
your
another
video.
frozen
I was like,
section. There's another frozen section, and then there's like the supermarket, like
the
where
groceries.
you
Yeah,
all
all the
Yeah.
groceries.
groceries, right? Like, oh my god! It just every time I got it, like the first time I went in there, I was very overwhelmed, and I had a list, and I walked in and I grabbed a few things that, like, I wanted, that I knew I wanted to get from there, plus like a few extra things, and it was more just Wegman branded things. Like I got like just a few of the things out of their
oil.
frozen section.
The basic
Yeah,
oil.
The olive oil. Oh my god, it was from Italy. It's in like this rainbow glass jar. I just love the jar. I was like,
Sometimes they get the balsamic vinegar that's so good you can put it on ice cream.
oh my god. So then and I left. I spent $146 on just a couple of things, and I left. And that was the first weekend that they were open, so it was packed. I mean, packed. Then I went last Sunday with my sister and my nieces and my daughter, and I got wraps, like chicken tender wraps for me and my husband. Delicious. And I got two of the deli sandwiches. Amazing. Um, and I got the chips, the barbecue chips, and the sour cream and onion chips, and again, Wegman brands for everything.
She's in.
Um,
Everyone,
yeah,
she's in. Hook, line, and sinker.
it's just everything that you thought it would be and more because it's just. I mean, I feel bad for ShopRite because I feel like they're going to go out of business because it's on like the next. It's like almost around the corner, but not around the corner. You know.
It's healthy competition. It's good to have competition.
Yeah,
know?
but it's like on like the next main street. Like there's this road where Wegmans is, and then there's like this road where ShopRite is. And I mean, I was like, for basic shit that I really need, I'm gonna go to ShopRite for. Like,
Yeah.
Because the prices are probably better.
oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
But like if I want, my deli sandwiches, I'm not my meat because I'm a boar's head bitch, and they don't have boar's head. So I mean, but the meat is good. My husband said
Danny's brand is pretty cool. Danny's brand.
Yeah. He had the Danny's famous spicy Italian or something sub. And
Oh, that's one of my faves.
Yeah.
I will just note to everyone that we are not paid by Wegmans, but
Not at all.
But hey,
Wegmans, if you're paying attention, we do love you and talk about you all the time.
Yeah.
franchise
even
Australia.
shopping bags too right there. But yeah, it's totally worth it. But I did leave the last time with a headache because it was just like
Too many
I
people,
felt like
too much going on.
you can't concentrate during a weekend. I have to go there on a weeknight because if I go there on a weeknight, I feel like it'll be calmer and I can get a better feel of the store.
Yes.
But,
I will only go to Wegmans. It's after supper time.
Yeah.
Because it's too chaotic. But and then you always end up doing the Wegmans shuffle, which is what I call when you're ducking behind the aisle. Oh shit, I don't want to see her. She's gonna talk to me. I don't want to talk to her.
It's like going in there with Jeffrey. Oh, I don't know anyone. I don't see anyone. No, I don't talk to everyone. Whatever.
Jeffrey is like the mayor of Auburn. He knows every freaking person here.
It's just like we can't get out of anywhere without Jeff seeing 20 people whenever I'm there. So good luck.
Right?
All right. Well, look, we've talked about the hottest deals available in grocery produce. We'll talk about the hottest deals in pop culture this week. On this week,
hot load of hot topics.
So the title of this week's show is Births, Deaths, Marriages, and Bad Decisions, and we have all of them. All of them present and accounted for.
We always do.
Well, look, we'll deal with death first because we like to. We like to get it over done with. Rip it. There has been more information come to light about the death of Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arakawa. It looks, it's not looks. It's pretty much confirmed now. Causes of death and how we think everything played out. It is believed that Betsy had passed away from the hantavirus. So, Vera, do you want to explain a little bit? What?
It's just a highly contagious virus that attacks the respiratory system. Some people are asymptomatic and then they're gone. It's but it's she had pills. It sounds like she was trying to take pills because they were supposedly scattered around her. But they believe that he's advanced stage dementia and was unaware that she had passed. Correct. And was in the kitchen 9 days, I believe they think it was.
Hackman died of cardiovascular disease, but Alzheimer's disease was noted as a significant contributing factor.
He had a pacemaker, and that's how they determined the time of death, because it's when the pacemaker stopped.
Wow. Yeah, so the couple were found on the February 26th, with Hackman's pacemaker data revealing that he passed away on the 17th of February, with Betsy believed to have died on the 11th of February.
And the poor little puppy was just locked in its cage and never got out.
Very, very sad. But again, this is such a timely reminder that no matter who you are, no matter, huge celebrity, like he has children, right? He had children?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But
They
they're
have
adult
neighbors.
children and your adult children,
I
know.
know, but this is such a. That's what I'm saying. This is such a timely reminder to just make sure a text message, a call,
Right.
anything, once a
Right.
week, once every couple of days, just to check
Oh,
in on
indeed.
people. Even if it's not family. Like when I don't hear from you guys, sometimes I'm like, I'll message someone else and go, "Have you heard from so and so? Have
Yeah.
you heard from so and so? I don't know." Like it's such a tricky world in general. The worst thing I can think of is something like that. That's a horrible way to go for anyone, and
Yeah.
it's sad more than anything else. It's just sad. I think,
I
It really is for the dog.
and that was my comment on the actual article. I was like, sometimes things are just sad.
Yeah.
Oh, Vera's
That's
frozen.
Is she frozen? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, she is.
Otherwise, she's really good at sitting there like this.
She's frozen.
We need to cap this, Vera.
Call Jeffrey.
Vera's frozen on camera, Jeffrey. But as I said, I'm just gonna pop her out so she can come back in a second.
Yeah.
It's just, I just, as someone with aging, or an aging parent, and friends that I don't see all the time, etc., etc. You
Yeah.
just want to hope that, and especially when we get older, like you got kids, so you're like, when I get old, I hope someone rings and checks on me, so I'm not just like in a puddle on the floor somewhere going bloop bloop.
Oh my God,
bloop.
could you imagine?
I know, she's back.
I'm back. Did I just blip? I don't know what happened.
You froze so dramatically. It looked like you were very upset. The acting. was
Well,
very-
I heard the siren going by, and I looked out the window, and I came back, and it's like, can you guys hear me? And you're both looking at me like. So I pulled the Luke, and jumped out and jumped back in.
We can do it. We can keep moving.
But-
But yeah, the general message, folks, is check on your people, check on your village, make sure that you don't have to be best friends with your neighbors, but just keep an eye out for your neighbors. Like,
Well, my neighbor's my sister, and I'll never die alone.
you two are going out together, Baby Jane style.
I'm thinking more like Thelma and Louise.
Oh God.
there was this two sisters. They were in their 90s, and they drove under a truck, 18-wheeler, and they died in the car accident. And Dia looked at me and she said, "That's going to be us." And I said, "Yes." And she said, they were arguing." And I said, "Yes."
They were arguing about something. It's just like,
Oh man,
that's
Yeah.
hilarious. I live for that. It's just so.
even my neighbor, like I know, I kind of know her work schedule just based off of her truck, and we're not close, but we're very friendly with each other. Like, if she needs sugar, if I need sugar, that type of thing. Her fridge broke, and she gave me a pork loin, like crap like that. But one week, like her truck didn't move at all, and I'm like, and she's a single mom, and I'm like. I texted her and I go, are you all right? She goes, we're both down with the flu. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I haven't seen your truck move. I was like, I haven't seen the kid outside. I'm like, I was like, do you need anything from the grocery store, CVS or anything? She's like, no, we're set. She goes, I DoorDashed everything. She goes, I'm totally okay. I'm like, okay. I'm like,
but you did the right thing. That's good.
You did. Good job.
It's just funny because I felt bad because I said to my husband, I said, Jen's car hasn't moved. I said, is that weird? I'm like, should I text her? Like, I felt like a nosy neighbor, but dude, I'm concerned.
No, I bet you she was glad you did it.
Concern is good. Concern is good. Yeah. So you got to stick to your word. Someone that stuck to them. I'm surprised. Rosie O'Donnell made a very quick return to TikTok to only to leave again. To let everyone know, she moved to Ireland.
She did.
Her and her 12-year-old child are gone.
Yep.
So, people love Rosie, people hate Rosie, whatever your opinion may be, she's probably the only person that stuck to her word that said, I'm out of
Well,
here. So
Who cares?
she is one of his favorite targets.
correct.
You know,
And has been for a long time.
it has
And
been for a long time.
since before President
Just
Xi,
take
they
yourself away from the
they just do not
situation.
like each other. They just do not
Right.
like each other.
And
It's
it
just
goes way back from before he was
yeah.
president to when they both
So
lived in Manhattan.
yeah.
Is she
You know,
like in his life in any way, shape, or form? Like,
what's
would she
that?
cross paths? Would she like cross paths with him at some point? Like,
I'm sure, they were part of the glitterati in Manhattan during the early
I think
2000s.
but I think
but
it also goes back to New York in the like late 80s, early 90s when they would have been in the same social circles, I'm assuming,
Yes.
with when
yeah,
she was when we've got to remember. I think we segment Rosie in the talk show / View like like Rosie, but we forget she was a stand-up comedian, she was an actress before all of that stuff. She's
Yeah,
had a
she
very
was
long
also
career.
a VJ on MTV when they
Yeah,
used to
we
play music.
back when MTV used to play music. Remember that? Remember that time, kids?
I do.
I missed that.
Yeah, she has returned to TikTok and left TikTok very very quickly. But as I said,
Her relationship with the Magites on TikTok was very toxic.
yeah, so she's removed herself from the situation. She's lucky enough to be able to, with her grandparents having Irish heritage, so they can,
Hmm.
she is able to explore that option for herself about getting citizenship over there as well. More power, I guess, and she said she's open to returning to the US in time.
Hmm.
We'll see how long that time is.
Well,
But
I wish I was in a position to do that. There are times when the things going on in this country upset the hell out of me. You know, I worry for my niece. She LBGTQ. I don't want to see any harm come to her. I know she lives under a constant stress every day. You know,
Yeah,
be vigilant, people. I guess that's what we have to say. Just be vigilant. I think vigilance is very important in this next case. Wendy Williams.
oh my
yes.
God.
This is getting like next level kind of insane. With Wendy dropping a note from her from the apartment that she is being allegedly held in. She was taken to Lenox Hill Hospital on the 10th of March for what was intended to be a psychiatric hold, but she underwent a capacity test and passed it with flying colours. So there's more conversation around her conservatorship because she's alleging that she is not allowed to do, like, she's basically a
She's being
prisoner
held against her will.
being held against her will. But the conservators saying that's not correct. She's able to do this, 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 and this. I pray for Wendy. Like, I think with Wendy, and let's call a spade, because if you watched the documentary, Wendy had some issues with substances,
Hmm.
and I think, along with her illness, which is not, which is an invisible illness. Some people medicate in different ways. They self-soothe, they medicate in different ways. And Wendy was obviously heavily into the painkillers and the alcohol for a while. It doesn't seem that way. Like, she's not wandering around
She
the streets covered in her own
she
piss. She's fully made up. She's got hair and makeup.
right, but there were definitely episodes where she completely it seemed to be a seizure of some sort, a glitch.
yeah. Well,
She totally
she
froze.
had it on. Yeah, she had it. She did have that famous, collapse on the show as well.
Right.
So there are outstanding things, but I think if we learn anything from Christina's best friend's situation, that these things need to be reassessed at a regular interval. You
Oh,
can't just go, oh,
absolutely.
you need help. You need help. You can't do anything for yourself ever again. It's like,
Right.
And
okay,
again, like I said with Brittany, and I'll say it with Wendy, you know that there are men walking around who are in far worse shape, like Charlie Sheen or Mel Gibson, who are in the throes of their addiction and are
Kanye West.
Kanye West completely out there, who are not in conservatorships. And there is this rush to put women in conservatorships that these men who are experiencing these psychotic episodes aren't experiencing.
It's very interesting that it's always the men making money off the women that put them in the conservatorships to start with.
Yeah, isn't it that?
Right? Mm-hmm. I just feel sorry. I feel like Wendy went through a rough period and she's being judged on that rough period. Like, I hope that the TMZ of it all and like I hope she gets as much press coverage and interest as Britney did, so there can be some kind of furthering in her case, that it can be.
Britney languished in that for years.
Exactly, but it finally, like, as we talked about it ad nauseum, it was a well-known secret that she's probably being held against her will and being forced. She's being forced to do all this stuff. Oh no, she was actually on lithium. Like, the reality of the situation, the joke. There's always a little bit of reality in a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Wendy's in that situation. I would hope for her, because she doesn't, like, we can see post conservatorship, Britney's still got some issues. Right? We all know that. No one's saying she's a paragon of mental health as she spins around. Did you see her? I nearly did an article on it, but I was like, I can't. Danced again and nearly sat in the fireplace while it was on.
No.
Dancing to a Justin Timberlake song. Dancing to a Justin Timberlake song in lingerie. I was like, oh, Christina would love me to do this, but I was like, no. I'll let it go. I've tormented her enough with Britney. And when Britney's movie comes out, there'll be more Britney to talk about. So I've got to bide my time on her.
But I mean, I've never liked her show. I'm not a Wendy Williams fan, but you don't want to see anybody be held against their will.
No, and she sounds cognizant. She sounds like she understands the situation. She's not. Like, in the documentary, yes, she was all over the place, but it's a different person now. If you listen to, she was on that radio show for over an hour nearly, and was with it. Was lucid, and the conversation she's had with Harvey on TMZ, etc.
What exactly is her diagnosis?
They're saying that she has some kind a variant of dementia.
Oh, okay.
And
all right.
It's like I said, the 60-year-old was cognitively impaired, permanently disabled, and incapacitated with frontotemporal dementia.
So I can understand that she has lucid days. Maybe she has lucid days, or periods of the day.
Yeah, but you can be a caretaker without being a conservator.
Right. There's no conservatorship, power of attorney, all that crap. I get it bank-wise, but like, what are you doing? Like, it's not like she's harming herself.
Right.
No, and it was that. I think the main concern was always
money,
finances. The dividends from the Wendy Williams show, which, and for them to be able to continue the Wendy Williams show without Wendy Williams, is like, that's a problem in itself. Yeah. The fact that they essentially fired her but kept the name on the show and had guest hosts hosting for quite some time. Like, it wasn't
right. It went on for a year or two.
Yeah, it was a while.
Just
rebrand it, girl. It's not going to kill you. But we hope. There's obviously going to be more story coming for Wendy, and I hope that it does. I hope that we get a bit more information on her behalf, just so she can clear the air. I mean, I can't imagine how frustrating it would be to kind of lose that autonomy and then try and prove to everyone that it's not correct, These people are, I don't know. Got a lot of past stars making, or stars may be a loose term for the next one, and loose may be a great term for the next one. The Octomom has crawled out of the swamp once again.
Well, that's more than 8. How many is that?
She has 14 children
Oh
now.
my God, I missed 6.
Yeah, you missed it. So let's talk about the Octomom. I will kind. Do you know it was 16 years ago?
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
really? Was it 16?
She's here
Feels like it
now.
was 20.
She's here. Well, you got that many fucking kids, you would think that's gonna age you. She is stepping forward and did an interview with People because she was never about the attention and never wanted to.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she has a biographical movie and a docu-series coming out this week.
And she doesn't want to be called Octomom anymore.
And the People magazine exclusive. Here's the takeaway from the magazine interview. I do regret not suing the infertility doctor. I definitely regret that because his insurance would have been the one paying, and it wouldn't have been some millions, and it would have been helpful to my family. Wait for it. I regret that I kind of threw myself under the bus to cover for him, and I shouldn't have. But I was grateful. I wouldn't have had any of my kids if it weren't for his innovative techniques. No one in the world did his type of procedure, so I didn't have it in my heart to sue him. But I did sue the hospital because they breached HIPAA. She says hospital employees repeatedly shared her name and medical information to the press. They're the reason why I ended up in the public eye.
Yeah,
Really?
not so sure about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? So, for those of us that don't remember, Nadia Solomon was a single woman living with her parents, going to college, and decided, you know what? Let's have babies, which is fine. You do that. More power to you. Pro-choice.
Right.
The choice to have 8 children. That's a litter. As I will always say, that's a litter.
Yes,
That's not a birth. That's a litter. And
it's irresponsible.
Not only did she have 8 with no financial backing or anything like that, she went back again and had 6 more.
Were they sextuplets? Were they all
I believe
a single birth?
Twins. There's twins, and then there were something else. They're not that they were not.
They're not like 8 and 6.
No, they were not maximum. As you can see by the like age range in that photo, they're not all the same age. There's some younger kids in there. There's some older kids in there.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. Look, okay. As best I can, I understand the need to, or not the need, because need is a different word, the want to reproduce and, have a child. I don't understand how, as a parent, especially as a single person, you think, okay, once freak act, freak whatever. He did breach his duty of care and implanted more than triple the amount, fertility stuff. It was more than triple.
Wasn't it the fact that he sewed them in? Am I misremembering that?
Yeah, it was not. Yeah, but he was only ever supposed to do 2. I think he did 12.
Okay.
And 8 of them took.
Mm-hmm.
And you can definitely reduce the number after these embryos take.
Exactly.
And you can have a healthy pregnancy with 2 or 3. You do not have to keep all 8. There is an option. Just saying.
So I understand that, yes, this could have been a freak moment and we had 8. But when you then start to go, yes, I'll take a reality show deal. Yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do this. It is funding the care of your children, correct? But it is also engaging with the public, which you say that you don't want to do and that you never wanted.
She pursued, as I recall, and it was 16 years ago. I remember her putting herself out there.
Exactly.
All the time. I remember her being
we have a very short memory.
Yeah, very fond of the attention.
Yeah.
Who would want that many fucking kids, man?
Ugh, no.
I don't even like to be in a room with 8 people.
I
It's like
like I think my friend who had twins, I don't know how the fuck she did that. Even my cousin who had twins, it was a lot. Like helping her. I mean, again, what am I, 11? I think I'm all 10 or 11 years older than them. And that drove me nuts being at her house with two baby twins. And like, even now, of course, I love my babies, but my God, no. Like, what are you doing? Like, I would lose my fucking mind. If I had twins, that would have been it. I've been like, nope, we're done. Like, two is enough.
Shut the shop, shut it all down, tie it all off. We're done.
Nothing else is happening because there's no need to have any more. And I am now, nursing for. How the fuck did she keep up with all of those mouths and the formula alone with one kid, let alone 8?
and the diapers. Can you imagine diapering 8 children?
But this
There
is
is never going to be all 8 kids in clean diapers
always
ever.
gonna smell. It's always gonna smell.
Yeah,
And
the house.
it would just. It's not. It's selfish because you can't do that by yourself. So she's obviously relying on her parents and her family and to alter their lives quite significantly to care for these children that you chose to have.
Unbelievable.
I'm just like, because the reason I wanted to talk about it because it ties in with the Nick Yardy story that we put that is up there as well, who is in a relationship with a young lady and her mother. A throuple. Okay, more power. We've had a bit of throuple conversation this week. But they pulled, I guess, what is some kind of stunt alleging that they were both pregnant at the same time, which has since been revealed, that's not a thing. It was just a clickbait, massive, scam. What won't people do for a few, like...
I don't know. We keep doing this.
I know, but we're not lying to people.
We're not.
This isn't even stretching the truth. This is an out and out lying to people over things that can be very, very sensitive. As a few people said in our comment section, there are so many people that have fertility issues that can't, for several reasons, carry their own children. And for people to joke about it, it's it's gross. I think it's kind of gross.
Yeah.
I've done that prank where on April Fool's Day, I've called my mom and I told her I was pregnant, all that crap, right? I was, I think, 18 or 19 when I did that. And again, I wasn't, I didn't have friends that had issues and things like that, or, infertility issues and all this stuff and IVF and all, I didn't know better. I have never done it since, and I will never do it again. And if anybody does it, I think it's fucked up. And actually, one of my friends who has infertility issue or had infertility issues, because she does have a baby now, posts every year on April Fool's Day and says, please don't call your mom and tell her you're pregnant today. It's not right. Like, think about the people who wish they could and have it real. And, again, as that mother and from that throuple, she should know better.
How as a grown-ass woman do you think it's a good idea to get involved with your daughter's partner in a romantic relationship, and then B, to fuck around with something like that just for views? Like, these people are gross.
It's disgusting. I'm sorry, but I would never waste my daughter, even if she isn't in the picture while they're together. No, thank you.
That's right. Maybe next week we'll announce Vera's pregnancy.
Yeah, that ain't happening. That Megs is poached.
Vera visited the White House, and now she's got a Trump baby. The drama.
Oh my goodness.
My goodness. But you got it. Look,
that would be an immaculate conception. I'm not his type, and he sure the fuck isn't mine.
You can have a little RFK, maybe.
Yeah, no.
I can't imagine that. That's very potent material.
Also, me and Wormler not going to happen.
Yeah. We have to make sure, though, when we get to that point, that your relationship is solid and, things aren't going on behind the scenes. Like the marriage of Ghost Adventure star Aaron Goodwin, whose wife was talking to a convict about having him killed.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
She
So
was trying to get a hitman to take him out.
Victoria Goodwin was arrested last week and booked on 2 charges: solicitation to commit murder and conspiracy to commit murder to have
Weren't
her
her
husband.
children
Aaron
implicated in it too?
Well, this is where I'm just going with Victoria at the moment, because that's as far as as far as I read at the moment when I posted it. She she wanted out of her marriage to the Ghost Adventures star, and she was talking to an inmate in Florida prison, saying, "Am I a bad person because I chose to end his existence, not divorce?" She set aside $11,515 to pay the alleged hitman, and provided information about Aaron's location and filming times in California while he was filming for the program.
Oh, she wanted him to get killed while filming?
On the job, basically. So away from her, so it looked like an accident.
So it looked like a ghost killed him?
No, well, I think, look, generating their own business. She wanted it to look, I guess, to have no links to them, their house, their town, their
Oh my God.
$11,000 is all it takes to get someone knocked off?
Yeah, that seems awful. And the 15, what's the 15?
I know. Taxes.
It's like a very specific amount to kill your husband.
Right. It's very specific to bump off your husband. It's just like, Michael.
It's either very specific or very random.
They would not. Well, look, I felt they're very short of money, because the Ghost Adventures machine, obviously Zach Baggins is Mr. Ghost Adventures, but Aaron has been on that show since it was a document. Like, that show started out as a documentary that they shopped around, and it became this beast of a thing that is now, the preeminent paranormal entertainment show, depending on what,
what continent you're on.
No, it's pretty worldwide. It's pretty worldwide.
Okay.
But $11,000. Like, you can scrape that together.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Right? I mean, I just feel like, is it worth it? $11,000. I would just go on vacation for a very long time.
Like, she would get more money. She would get more out of it
if she divorced him.
Yeah, like, why aren't you divorcing him? Like,
I'm sure there's a divorce in the offing.
Yeah, I think there might be some kind of divorce.
I'm sure there's a divorce going to happen.
Yeah, now there is. But now she's fucked. Unless there's like a prenup that she knew about, that's why she wanted him killed. Instead, like, that's where she could get her money.
Well, do
you think his net worth was that high? Yeah.
Well, he'd have some money. Let's be honest. He'd have some money. Police say they only caught wind of the alleged plot after corrections officers found and seized the inmate's contraband phone at his Florida prison. So it could have gone off.
How was he going to get out of prison to commit the murder?
Oh, it was
somebody else.
Had some people,
Oh, okay.
Got some people in construction, some
But he had a phone in prison. That's
someone got that phone in there. Tick tick.
Yeah.
Baking a cake.
It's funny. I was watching 60 Days In, and I watched a couple of seasons of it because I don't know what to watch. And they obviously just show that they have the people go into the jail, all that crap, right? At the end of it, this woman said, she goes, the drugs are coming in on the food trays, like under the food trays. They're double stacking them. She goes, or they're putting it under like their vegetables. She goes, it's the other prisoners that are working in the cafeteria that are getting the drugs and then putting it on the trays to where they have to go, right? Then they said that it's also in the laundry, that people are putting it in their folded laundry. So again, the prisoners that are working in the laundry are then putting it in the certain clothes to give to the prisoner, like the other people that are in their cells. So it truly is just amazing what gets in and out without people seeing or noticing. Like, I mean,
and then just go back and watch Go back and watch like Oz and Orange is the New Black and the Australian show Wentworth.
Yeah,
It shows you. It just shows you the amount, the length people will go to for stuff in prison. It's
yeah,
very.
I mean, like, this isn't real, you know. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
but it's all
I
based on
love
real
the
stuff.
Orange, but like, yeah, but like, I mean, still, this was like,
Wentworth. Sorry, I'm just judging off our show. Our show Wentworth is pretty like. Ugh. It's set in a women's prison. It's pretty realistic. So everything that they like is from prison life and etc. etc. But you can
I'm
want
having a
drugs really
Christina
bad.
Light moment.
But how bad, ladies? How bad do you want to win? Because
this I don't like.
this is desperate.
I know.
This is desperate to win a race. For those of us that haven't heard the Caitlin Tucker story, she was competing in a 4x200 meter relay race when she was allegedly. I think we're still going with allegedly. Maybe.
Yeah, I think it's still alleged.
Still alleged that she was hit on the back of the head with a baton, suffering a concussion and possible skull fracture from another competitive runner, Alayla Everett, who is proclaiming her innocence. Baby, have you seen this footage?
I have. Can you put the
He
video?
hit
I
that
have
bitch.
not. Oh, I'm gonna have to look it
Hit
up.
that bitch. It was over.
Now, my
You
question
talk amongst
is:
yourself, I'll find it.
Did that woman step into her lane?
No. So
No?
okay. The girl with the baton was in the innermost lane. Okay?
Right.
And the one that got hit was in the lane next to her. And as they're running, she is like, I guess, getting pretty close to the one in front of her, right? Who got hit. You can see, and this girl did say that it went up her back, like it got caught on her. The girl running, like the girl that she hit, it got caught on like her vest or shirt or whatever. And I guess she had to reposition it. But they're all running, like they're whipping the baton. So she had to reposition it. And when she came back down, she fucking hit her. But you can see in the video, it does get caught on her shirt.
I've got the video. Let's have a look, shall we?
Okay.
All right. Well, can we see this?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yes. You have to see the slow motion.
Sportsmanship at a high school track meet in Virginia on Saturday. One runner can be seen.
Oh.
Another runner with a baton. The student who was hit has a concussion and a possible cracked skull.
But, okay, it looks bad, but look at the girl in the right, in two in front of her, how she's whipping her baton just the same way.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
I don't know. That looked pretty bad.
The downward motion of that run.
The one that you put on the page was like having a closer view of the slow motion like thing. And you can see the girl's shirt pop up a little bit. So I don't think it's right. She knew she was close. She knew she was close when she hit her shirt. So I don't like that she came back down. But I can see that while you're in the motion and you're going, I get it. And I feel so bad for this girl if it was not intentional. But if it was, bitch, you are fucking crazy. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, it's a little Tanya Harding moment.
Right, yeah. Exactly. I was expecting the why. All right, so this is what Alayla has to say. Let me get the quote up because she did a little bit of an interview. She said, "Everybody has feelings, so you're physically hurt, but you're not thinking about my mental, right? They're going off one angle." My mental. After a couple of times, the runner explained how the baton made contact with Tucker. After a couple of times of hitting her with my baton, I got stuck behind her.
After a couple of times hitting her?
Yeah.
Hitting her with my baton, I got stuck behind her back and I rolled. So she's admitting to hitting her.
But she hit her like the vest thingy that they wear, like the vest thingy that they were wearing.
Right. So probably the number.
Hitting her, exactly. She kept hitting her number thingy. And
But is
That's
that
what she
part of the
was saying.
deal?
She's like, I didn't understand that either. I didn't get that either.
I don't
Like,
think
why is
so.
it-
That's not part of the deal when you're racing
Oh,
somebody that you
yeah,
pick them.
it's not something that occurs frequently. Y'all
Right.
know
And then-
I watch the Olympics religiously.
She says, I know my intentions. I would never hit somebody on purpose, even though I just said I hit her several times.
Yeah.
Right. But the thing is, she wasn't hitting her because obviously she didn't hit her a couple of times. I think she kept, when she said hitting her, she meant like probably grazing her shirt with the baton. a
Props. I
couple
love
of
it. Got
times,
props.
You know? And then again, but she knew she was close. That's what is throwing me off. You could have whipped that inside. You
Down
could have, yeah, you could have.
You could have pulled your arms in a little closer to yourself. You could have moved yourself
She's a
several inches
runner.
to the left.
Then,
You know?
okay, I hate to come to her defense, but after reading that, I feel so bad for her because it truly is the entire world, right?
But
The
you know
internet
what?
is now coming down on this girl, accusing her of doing this intentionally, and she says she didn't.
She
and it's like,
should have-
okay, I could see it being an accident.
How old is she?
This is high school stuff, right?
High
But
school
why,
stuff.
Why would anyone? Who are her guardians / parents that are letting her go on the news without some kind of like? I don't know. Maybe it's just the cynical world that I live in. But if you're involved in something that's catching this much media attention, you're gonna get some professional advice on what to say and how to say it. Not just go, yeah, I hit her a few times and then I decided to just reef it out and hit her again because it can be misconstrued, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's just like some people have just got to learn the fucking hard way.
Yeah, I get
Like,
it.
maybe just
feels so
don't
bad
say
for her.
anything. If you're innocent, then don't say anything.
You can't say you can't not say anything though. Again, like I said, how many people on the internet have seen that video, commented, claiming this girl attacked this other girl? Like,
But that's when you leave it to.
I feel so bad for
That's
both
when
of
you
them.
leave it to whoever the governing body is that is
Right.
because it's on camera. There's multiple angles.
Right.
It
Like,
should be
get a
the
clear
governing
view.
body's job to relieve
Yeah.
this girl of her responsibility to prove her innocence or guilt
Yeah.
because they have all this footage, and I'm sure there's footage that we haven't seen because
Right.
there was multiple angles just there.
Yeah.
Despite
I do have one question.
the cracks.
Was Alea charged?
I don't believe so.
I mean,
know.
because that would determine to me whether or not they thought
Well, it's
she
high
was.
school. It's high school, so she would be a minor, right?
Yeah, you would charge. You could charge a minor with assault.
Charges. Yeah.
Yeah, if it was considered
maybe-
battery, you would be able to press.
But this is the point. Maybe there isn't enough. Like they don't have the evidence to move. Like we know from the show that we do. You've got to have proof to back up your claims. Otherwise,
Right.
you get thrown out of court, and everything that you say
That's what you're saying.
null and void.
Yeah.
That's what you're
You know,
saying.
if there's not enough proof for police to suggest
to say
guilt,
this was malice,
then is there enough proof for us to presume guilt?
And now it's
Right.
in the court of public opinion. So,
Yeah,
And that's
which
what
can
I'm saying.
get it wrong. We can get it
yeah,
wrong.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
That's what I'm saying. Give her the benefit of the doubt. That just for the internet, that 7 people or 2 people that are watching, just give her.
But it might be 50 by the end of the week, Christina.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Just, I feel bad, I don't know. I feel bad for her. That's all.
Right. And
everybody. And how old is she? And it's like now she's deemed this girl. And is she gonna ever want to run again? Like,
Look,
I
let's look at it.
feel bad.
Let's look at it in the positive light. There's probably going to be a Lifetime movie very soon.
Oh, definitely. Definitely do this.
Running
they
for
both have to
running
win.
for justice.
They both have to get paid.
Passing the baton,
Yeah.
You know,
That's the
the
sequel where she
coaches,
trains
the
next
officiants,
generation.
they got to all get paid. The officials, yep.
Everyone's got to have an opinion, and our as an opinion giver is here, and she's ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for Veer Events. Look, she's got her back now. Watch out. Okay, me.
My light has been pulling at Christina.
Oh, advent.
Um, Very few people probably know this, and I know this because I know the weird shit. Today is the 5th anniversary of our COVID lockdown. This day, March 13th, 2020, was the day the country shut down. And, I will, on occasion, bitch about our president. But one of the things that he did get right in his first term was Operation Warp Speed. And it was really one of the highlights of his administration. His administration pushed the funding, pushed Dr. Fauci, pushed the NIH and the CDC to create the mRNA vaccine. It was a international cooperation, an international sharing of evidence, an international come together to create what we needed in that moment. And at the time, Donald Trump was very proud of it. He talked about it on several different occasions. He then backpedaled because people told him that it was killing people, and he started to believe things that were not scientifically proven. But that's a different story. Never mind. Anyway, but I will consider that the crowning achievement of his first term as president. And one of the things that I think we need to talk about is the fact that you will never make America great again if America is stupid. And some of the things that Doge is doing right now are hindering our ability to ever be the leader in an operation like Operation Warp Speed again. He is defunding the CDC, he is defunding the NIH, and these two institutions are the bedrock of scientific medical research in this country and around the world. And not only do they fund research projects for themselves, they re-grant federal monies to institutions like universities, like Johns Hopkins Hospital, to all these research hospitals where they do the research that is going to enable them to hit the ground running in the event of another pandemic where they need another Operation Warp Speed. We cannot allow this country's commitment to education to disappear. And I don't even want to go into what they're trying to do at the Department of Ed. That the re-granted money in the Department of Ed funds special ed programs all across this country, but it also funds Pell Grants that enable poor and middle class kids to go to college. We are going to run out of nurses. We're going to run out of doctors. We're going to run out of people who know how to build big, tall planes that don't fall out of the sky, and rocket ships that don't fall out of the sky, and satellites that don't fall out of the sky. We will never make America great again if we don't stop making America stupid. They cannot keep defunding these organizations and defunding the well-being, the mental, medical, and educational health of this country. That is a criminal offense in my book.
There you go. Well said.
Yeah, I've never heard you say one nice thing about Trump. I was actually shocked.
Hey, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
It's funny, I haven't changed my time. I looked outside just now and it's 9 o'clock still. It's 9 o'clock.
Oh, well done. There we go. Look, the more that you stick around,
it was an amazing event. Operation Warp Speed. It was hit Warp Speed. He was bragging about it. He had a right to be proud of it. Well, it'll never happen again if he defunds these organizations.
I don't agree with the whole education
bit, right? No country did as well as Australia during COVID, and we had a dickhead leader at the time, which is correct.
It was an international effort. Operation Warp Speed did not happen just with the Americans.
We locked this shit down tight. Can you believe it's been 5 years? 5 years ago.
5 years ago. And
When
it's
we were-
still
we
there
were-
are still things in the medical community that are never going to be right again. You know?
we were when we decided to just go full pelt. Let's do this little podcast, and then we've been back 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. There we go. Very cute. We will keep bringing you the good stuff.
Christina, we're jinxed.
Oh, twinning. Because we-
the whole
I'm
show.
gonna. I should change you back around and see if the light moves around. We do have some feel good and fearful stuff coming in the next couple of weeks. We're going to check back in to assigned seating and do a little bit of a 80s. 80s? Yeah, 80s. 80s classic. If you're more I'm just teasing. And then we have a legendary horror film that did for plane travel what Jaws did going on a boat. That's a little bit of a tease of what to come. There's some other stuff bubbling under here, as it always is in UCR. There's always something on the back burner. But thank you to my sisters Grimm today for joining us for our, weekly de-stress sesh, because we all need it. I also must say a big thank you to the people that have clocked in on Apple Music and on Spotify, because there's some dollars in the account now. We're starting to get there, slowly but surely. Hey, it's not enough to buy anything yet, but it's
We
more
can
money
buy
than we'll
that
make.
pack of gum we've had our eye on.
Yes, we can officially buy a pack of gum. We can officially buy a pack of gum. Maybe even two. But,
is it like Doublemint or is it like Bubblicious?
we'll have to wait and see. Look, I can't guarantee huge things, but please, if you do want to listen to us, we are available where all good podcasts are heard, and even some of the bad ones. We're no Joe Rogan, but we'd love to be. That's all
Better
good.
than Joe Rogan.
Most importantly, please, if you want to keep watching us, jump over to our YouTube channel, Facebook. Very soon we'll be deleting live videos after 30 days. So if you want to keep in touch with what we're doing and what we have done and all the things, YouTube, Uncensored Radio, subscribe, like it. If you could give us some reviews on these platforms as well, it gets us like some visuals and gets us some excitement. We would love that, because we kind of enjoy what we're doing and we like that the people enjoy us. So enjoy us together and we'll just enjoy life.
Yeah.
Because you gotta try, right? You gotta try. All right, kids, it's been another week. Thank you so
All
much.
righty.
Make sure you keep your battens to yourself this week. Bye.
Bye.